I was just about on my way to Tractor Supply yesterday to buy another stock tank when I decided, you know what, I think I have what I need. Instead of making this whole area the calves area and then having Gracie outside, what if I use that gate there to close off to a cattle panel here? That way the calves have the back part, almost the majority of the cow yard, and they'll have access to the water on the other side of that cattle panel, and I can leave the main gate open and Gracie has access to this side of the water here. That way the calves have all the area to graze, but then they both have access to the same water trough. So that's what I'm going to do today. One of the main reasons I want to do this is if I had put a stock tank outside the cow yard, then Gracie would have had water, but she would have had no shade. And we don't have any shade on our pasture here. So it's not super hot today, but it's hot enough that I know she would much rather be spending the middle of the day in the shade. That was awful. I wasn't paying attention and I left the gate open and out went the calves. So Jake almost took off. He took off down the hill, and thankfully I've been training Lucy to help me catch the chickens, and I tell her to go get it and then she circles around and then leads them towards me. And so she was there. I told her to go get Jake and she brought him back up here. So now I have Charlie in and Jake is right back nearby. So I tried to make a funnel here. Thankfully we have those wood chips there, and then I used some hog panels to kind of extend that lane out. So hopefully I can get him back in. that sucked. He's in now. Thank goodness for Lucy's help. Alright, so that's done. It is rusted and bent and a little bit crooked, and I let the cows out, but I got it done, and I think that these boys will be exponentially happier. I hated having them in the little calf yard for so long. I wanted them to have more space, so I'm so happy that I could give that to them, and I'm glad that I didn't go out and buy another trough. That way Gracie can be in her stall during the day. She really loves to go out and graze early in the morning and then spend most of the midday in her stall, and then she'll go out again later in the afternoon when it's cooler. So this gives her flexibility. It gives the calves a lot more flexibility and a lot more space. So for one project for the cows done for the weekend, I got Gracie's fly mask on yesterday, which I'm very happy that I have that because it killed me having the flies in her face. I have some fly paper that I will probably put up and try to reduce the number of flies. And then the biggest project will be moving that big pile of wood chips, basically all of it into their stalls, so that I build that up. That way it doesn't just, you know, bog out and collect all of the rainwater and urine. Hopefully there's, you know, it's higher and it has some drainage. So I have to clean out the hay, the spent hay that's in there, and then put all the wood chips in. The kind of bad part about this is that I can't get the tractor through here. Matt's gone this weekend, so I can't really get the tractor myself anyway, because to fit it in the garage we have to fold the ROPS down, and I am too small. I'm not tall enough to push the ROPS back up, so I can't use the tractor. I'll just have to use a pitchfork and my gorilla cart. So hopefully I'll get some of that done tomorrow, but for now it is hot and I'm out of time anyway, so I'm gonna let these guys go. I forgot I do have to milk Gracie. I have been pushing her milking time back every day. I'm milking her just once a day now. It is, what is today? The 29th. So she should have been dry for a week already, but I'm late because she's due on September 22nd. I wanted to have her dry by July 22nd, but I'm late. So hopefully within the next week she'll be dry, and then she'll have that time off, those 2 months or a month and a half off before her calf gets here. So it is like 3 o'clock right now. Yesterday I milked her at like noon, so it's a little bit later than I wanted to, but I just felt her. She's a little, she's not hard, but she's very full in one quarter and moderately full in the other quarter that I've been milking. 2 quarters I haven't been milking at all for about 4 days. So I'm gonna go get the stuff I need to milk her and then come back. I'm so glad he's so happy. Good girl. So putting on her fly mask yesterday, it helped me figure out that she'll let me lead her if I grab her halter like that, which I'm really surprised by. I guess it's because I've been hooking her up by the halter when I milk her, so she's kind of used to the resistance. but she followed me. So she did resist a little bit, but hey, I'll take it. You're a good girl. So like I said, hopefully I'm about 1 week out from drying off Gracie, and I'm just milking her once a day now. And because I went from milking a few times a week to now at least every day, I have had a full refrigerator of milk. And I made yogurt, which is delicious. I love making yogurt with raw milk. I attempted to make cottage cheese because at least the recipes that I saw, you basically just put milk out on the counter and it's supposed to clabber, like kind of separate a little bit into almost like curds and whey, not quite that much, but it's supposed to curdle for cottage cheese. And after about 3 days, there was like little specks of mold on the top, and Matt was so against the idea that it just didn't seem right. How could you put milk out onto the counter and it be okay? And it's supposed to be okay because the beneficial bacteria is supposed to overcome the bad bacteria. However, since I had mold on mine, the beneficial bacteria wasn't strong enough. So I don't know if I had some contamination in there that maybe there was already some bad bacteria that took over. But either way, at least we know that it wasn't good. I didn't have to guess about it. But you are supposed to be able to tell. Like, it's supposed to either smell kind of like sour cream, or it'll smell bad. And I didn't smell it, but it didn't look good, so we're not going to have that. So, needless to say, I'm doing everything that I can with the milk, but our refrigerator is just full right now. I have been advocating very strongly to move our 21 cubic square foot freezer from the garage. It's actually a convertible freezer. You can switch it with a button to turn into a refrigerator. I really want that inside because I have all the milk. And just regular food. You know, we're a family of 6 and we have just tons of food each week. So having a huge refrigerator would be amazing. And so we have to knock out a cabinet, and we also have to get a new freezer to put the stuff that's in that big freezer. So I'm on the lookout for a freezer to replace one. I don't know if I said anything, but last month, I think it was last month, I discovered that my 2-year-old shut off our chest freezer. Shut it off. It was a button on the front, and he turned it off. Or it was a dial, and he turned it to off. And so it started smelling, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And then one day it just smelled like death, like in the house. But we could tell it was coming from the garage, and lo and behold, there was the freezer, and it was off, and there was, I don't know how many pounds of meat, but it was the pork, like the kind of random cuts, like the leaf lard was in there, and there were a couple roasts, maybe a couple packs of sausage, like the vertebrae, just random stuff in there. But it was probably at least like 50 to 60 pounds of meat that completely spoiled and rotted, and it was the most disgusting thing ever. And so we tried very hard to save that freezer, and we could not. So that freezer was a 7 cubic foot freezer. So we probably want a 15 to 20 cubic foot freezer to replace it, and the 21 cubic square foot freezer that we want to move into the house. And then once that happens, hopefully by the time she has her baby and she's in milk again, I'll have all the space I want for milk. But for now, I just don't have it. So anyway, I said all of that because I'm milking into a dirty bucket. We are not drinking this. This is going to the chickens. So whenever I don't need the milk, but I still need to milk her, I give it to the chickens and they love it. Lucy always sneaks some of the milk. If animals are getting it, she wants to get some too. Is that good, Lucy? Yeah. Lucy, is that good? Yes. The chickens know that I have something. Hi, chickens! They love the milk. Alright, so it is the second day and I got the gate put up yesterday to separate the calf yard so they have more room, and today is the really yucky part. If I was sweating yesterday, I'm going to be sweating a lot today because we have to move those wood chips into the cow stalls so that hopefully they have better drainage in there and we can keep it nice and dry and comfy for them. But first we have to get all of their spent hay that's basically just wet. We have to haul that out and make it kind of just down to the dirt so that we can build it up with those wood chips. So we're going to use the tractor to dump that spent hay in there and then dump it into our compost pile. Then once it's nice and clean, we can get those wood chips into their stalls. So you can see how gross it is in here. I just put new hay in here yesterday and the ground is just so wet that even if you clear off all the poop, it soaks up, you know, moisture from underneath on the ground and it just gets wet. So that's why we want to build it up with wood chips so that there's more drainage and it'll stay drier on top. Thanks for helping me.
Yep.
It's really shitty work.
Yeah, it is.
Not as shitty if we're together. I like that he likes me. Oh.
What happened?
Just what?
Can I eat you?
Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Is that so good? Alright. I am exhausted. I have many blisters and I am covered in manure. It was disgusting, but we got a lot done. We hauled out all the wet hay that was in here and we put about 4 to 5 inches of wood chips in this space. That side we covered it completely, and then this side we left a little corner because one little corner always stays dry, but we made sure to really pack it in thick and heavy in the spots that tended to collect water and urine. So I'm so happy that this is done because I have been battling it. It felt like, you know, I was, what's the saying where you're doing something to the ocean, you know? What's the saying?
Pissing into an ocean. Helpful.
It felt like a completely futile act, me trying to add hay every day because it would just get soaked within a couple hours because, like I said before, we are at a little bit of an incline here, and so water would just collect in here, and then when the ground got saturated, urine would collect even more, and so all the hay was getting soaked from the ground up. It would look nice and be fluffy for a couple hours, and then it would get soaked. So I'm really happy about this. We'll just keep an eye on it, especially when it rains. We'll see if there's water pooling anywhere, if we need to create more of a drainage situation. The side of this shelter is lined with basically 2x4s at the bottom of the pallets. So I'm hoping that water will come down the hill this way, hit the pallets, and then it also is pitched a little bit this way, and it'll go out and then down towards that way, away from the shelter. So, you know, fingers crossed, we'll just see how it actually plays out when it rains. We'll see if it's a lot easier to keep it dry in here. That's my supreme hope, because everything is nicer when they're cleaner. They're happier when they're cleaner. I'm hoping that the flies might be a little bit less. Also, one of the big things I wanted to work on was the flies. I got Gracie that fly mask, and I think she's been a lot happier with that on. Especially just cleaning this out. We already filled up our big compost pile, so I think we're going to have to choose a secondary location, maybe down the hill farther away on our property. We'll make a secondary compost place, so this will just be a temporary area. I'm hoping that maybe we'll bring spent hay down to the now real compost pile maybe once a week. That way this one never gets that big, and hopefully that might help keep the flies down too. So, you know, we're learning as we go and trying new things as we're presented with new problems. This is our first year with cows, and so, you know, I researched a lot, but research can only get you so far, and then you run into problems that you didn't know that you would have, or you thought you had a solution for and it didn't work. So we're just trying to try new things and, you know, give these cows the best life that they can have. So it's late. This took a long time. I'm just going to lay down some hay in here so they have nice fluffy beds, and then every day, like I do, I will clear out the manure that's in here. So most of that hay gets picked up, and then I just put new hay in here as needed, just to give them some fluff and a nice bed. So the only other thing that I need to do, I still need to milk Gracie today. I have been milking her later and later in the day, every day. So I'm thinking probably another 2 days, and I might be able to go like a day and a half between milkings, because right now I'm at, let's see, probably like 30 hours maybe between milkings. And so I'm just going to keep increasing that, and hopefully within the next week she'll be dry, because again, she should have been dry last week to give her the full 2 months before her calf comes. So yeah, I'll just finish that up, and then that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching Little Lady Homestead, and I'll see you in my next one.
Pissing up a rope.
What?
Pissing up a rope.
Pissing up a rope? What is that?
It's something, you know, futile.
What does pissing up a rope even mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thanks. It's been raining all day today. Not super hard right now, but enough that there is water pooling. So I wanted to check on the stalls today. Hi, Gracie. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. She says, "Are you here to love on me?" you here to love on me? Yes, I love you. Yes, I do. But look at that. Is it nice and cozy in there, Gracie? Look, it's all dry and nice. Oh, how exciting. So this is the one spot that we didn't put much wood chips, and it looks wet right there, but it's not pooling. And that always stayed dry. It was always that corner and all in the middle that would get wet. So that is looking great. And then the boys, there's some poop there, but it looks dry. I am so happy. Are you happy you have a nice stall now? Oh, I hope this continues to work. We have more wood chips that we will probably just continually add, because I do take some out a little bit every day when I remove manure in here. Hi, baby. She loves scratches. This is what she does. Oh, you're so sweet. You're the sweetest. You're the sweetest, huh? She loves her love. You're licking. Oh, you're licking me and it hurts. Hi, sweetie. You sweet girl. Oh, oh, yes. Yes. You're such a good girl. I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. Yes, I do. Oh, gosh. Ooh. And I've had people tell me that she's licking because she wants the salt, but she has a salt block, and she does it even when I wear pants. She doesn't get any salt off me. She still licks my legs, but she's just so sweet. She loves love. I love our setup that she can still give kisses to the boys. Huh, you love your boys, don't you? Hey boys, you guys are looking so good. I bet they're so happy to be dry and have a nice dry area even with all this rain today. Huh, Jake? Huh? You're such a good mama. He's such a good mama. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Jake. What is that thing? I see your nose. You can't eat my phone. You can't eat my phone.